Hi everyone. It's still today. We're still on Thursday, and I'm so excited to have Aprill Lane here today. Aprill and I just got the privilege of meeting Aprill in person in Boston a month ago, maybe now, and I'm so excited that we're here talking about this very important topic, which is the lack of military funding for families who people are in active service, but not, oh my God, I'm stumbling, but discharged. And so Aprill is a rock star. She just went into Washington to advocate for the bill, and we'll get into that conversation a little bit after I read your bio. So thank you, Aprill. Hi, Sarah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Aprill Lane is the president and founder of AGC Scholarships, or AGC. As the president and founder, Aprill has general supervision and control of the business of AGC and presides over all meetings. Aprill and her husband struggled with infertility for 4.5 years, before having their first child via adoption. I love, I'm like a stalker with all your pictures. Miles. Aprill and her husband eventually had a pregnancy that made it full term and resulted in their second son, Mark. Their journey with infertility brought them 3 IUIs, 9 IVF, 6 fresh, and 3 frozen, and 4 losses. Through this experience, she has become very familiar with the process and cost, both financially and emotionally, of infertility treatments and infertility diagnosis. Meeting other couples going through the same process, Aprill began to hear more and more stories of people taking out second mortgages, loan, and borrowing money from family and friends to pay for fertility treatments. These stories inspired her to create a scholarship foundation to ease the financial burden of this costly and difficult procedure. In addition to her personal experience in this area, Aprill is a graduate of Worcester State College. Along with her responsibilities with AGC, Aprill is a full-time employee at a pharmaceutical company. Oh my gosh, honey, God bless you.
I just left Pfizer in March.
You did?
You did, yeah.
And then you have a little update to the family, too.
Yeah, so our overall journey is 7.5 years. We started in 2008, starting to family planning and building. After our 9th failed IVF, our doctor had left her clinic, and she called me and said, "You're going to kill me, but I think we should try one more. I have confidence in this lab, and the technology's here. Let's just try one more." So we did, and that resulted in a twin live birth. So we now have 4 children under 4.
Sarah! Sarah's like,
and so that is how my personal start to this process was. But then it turned professional in about 2010 when I started AGC. So AGC is committed to the financial aspect of assisting the community. We help in all different areas of family building: adoption, treatment, surrogacy, donor sperm, egg, embryo. However you can build your family, we can financially help you. I do a lot of advocacy work. That is personal. It's not through AGC. I go personally, but the IRS does make us put that on the website that we do advocacy, but it's only through me personally. So do you want to start on the military stuff now?
I would love that, but and when we get there, I've been holding a piece that you talked about to me, because you're such a rock star. I'm going to say it now because I can't wait. But Aprill and I had a conversation, I think it was a couple weeks ago, and the line you said, which I think is so powerful and so amazing, is that you've been advocating and going to Washington out of your pure passion to do this, to see this through, because of this gap. And how you said to one of the representatives and staffer, "Oh, no, we'll do this by next year." Yeah. And it's that state of certainty, like you're just, and I'm going to say it because normally I don't swear, but like badass. Like after I hung up the phone with you, I'm like, you're so mighty. You're like, no, no, next year this will be done because I'm not going to have this conversation with you anymore. And
It was Senator Warren.
yeah. So why don't you tell that story? I love it. I got goosebumps.
Yeah, so I've been going with Resolve to Advocacy Day. They arrange all the meetings with the staffers or with the senators or the House representatives. And this is the 4th year meeting with Senator Warren's staffer, and it's the same staffer. They tend to have a lot of change, but it's been the same staffer. And we agreed as a group going into that this is enough. We've talked about this for many years, and so at the end I said exactly that. This is the last time we're asking for help. And so next year my expectation is we're here saying thank you. Because there's no reason for us to keep doing this if she's supportive of families. So I'm confident.
I love that. I love that. And I know it's you're speaking, your voice was for everyone who's dedicated and goes to advocate. So let's talk about this very important and timely conversation about the military and the gap.
So currently there's no coverage for active military or veterans. There are military treatment facilities, and in the military they're known as MTFs, that offer discounted treatment options, but it's cash pay. TRICARE, which is active military insurance coverage, they do cover some diagnostic things, but it's mainly around injury. For standard diagnostic tests, you might hit roadblocks and maybe cash pay. But for diagnostic tests that include, or as a result of injury, they will cover. Once you become a veteran and you roll from TRICARE into the VA coverage, fertility treatments or reproductive treatments in any form are specifically excluded. And this was put into their medical coverage, I want to say in the 90s, but decades ago. Mm-hmm. And the VA themselves and other military support groups want this changed. It's just this long process of needing legislative support to get it changed. In 2015, Senator Patty Murray introduced a bill to get that changed. It's a really long bill. It's called Women, Veterans, and Family Health Services Act. And that's the one that Resolve has been working on so diligently. And that bill would allow the VA and the DoD, the Department of Defense, to provide reproductive services. So when we go as a group to Advocacy Day, that is one of the top bills that we're working on. And that's the one I was speaking about when we were talking to Senator Warren's staffer.
Okay. And so what is being held up, or why is it being stopped with if it feels like there's consensus? So what is hooking it, or what is not letting it pass?
So that's a good question. And actually Senator Warren's staffer gave us some really good bullet points on that. The meat of the bill is family building. But within there are other things like tax things, and there's other things that they might not want their name on. So they may have a tax staffer that says, no, you can support this because of that. And so it's just a matter of all those little things hidden within the bill of being able to get the full support of the entire bill. Because you can't just say, I support this bill because I want reproductive services for the military. You have to say you're supporting it 100%. So there's these little things in there that they may not be 100% supportive of, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
And so what you have done is you've taken action,
yes,
above and beyond the bill because of your professional and personal access or watching this.
Yeah.
So I want you to talk about what you have done.
Yeah, so I should say the most powerful part for me, I'm not military-based, my husband's not in the military, so this doesn't affect me personally. I have friends in the military, but when you hear the stories of men and women putting their life on the line, and they come back after being hit by an IED, or, you know, and they are literally dismembered by their service, and they don't even have reproductive organs anymore, and their insurance coverage is, no, we can't help you. And that's not even including the standard diagnostic infertile patient, that 1 in 8 that is in the U.S. Like, this is on top. These are the injured men and women who are putting their life on the line for us, and I think everyone in the community can say it's absolutely crazy town that there isn't coverage. And I feel fortunate I have this voice. I'm confident in front of the legislators, and, you know, I have no problem speaking up, and so that's why I do it. There should be coverage for those people in that population, for sure.
Well, I think that you just bring awareness to this, because, you know, connecting those dots that our men and women are coming back from serving the country, and they come back and they're disabled, and their reproductive health is forever altered.
Yes.
And that is not even talked about. And then to be told, no, we're not going to, there's no help, we can't help you. It's just a travesty.
Yeah.
So, I know you and I spoke about what one more step that AGC is planning to do. And, you know, Sarah and I talked about this, and we'll have a bundle after the summit. And when those sales go through, we're hoping for sales that people would want to purchase the bundle. That's going to go to this new endeavor that you're doing.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so this new endeavor that we're doing is, so currently our grant process is open twice a year. We give out a wide range of scholarships, monetary-wise, wide range, and it's based on need. Some people might need $10,000, some people might need $2,500, and so it's based on that. But when you are diagnosed with cancer, you cannot wait until the fall to preserve your fertility. You need to start your treatment right away. So one of the things we're currently working on is expanding with an oncology division. So it's going to function differently than our current grant system, where it will be all year round. It's going to be a flat amount. We haven't set that amount yet, but just for the sake of conversation, I'll say $1,000, and you apply, and you just get your $1,000 to go towards your fertility preservation at that moment. You don't have to wait 6 months. You don't have to fill out the application right now with an essay. It's a very lengthy process. It's simple, but it takes some time. Currently, that wouldn't apply for the people diagnosed with cancer, because it's an emergent thing. It's emergent, and it needs to get done quickly so you can start treatment. So we're really hoping to get that going. We've been in the works for about 1.5 years with that, so we're really hoping to get that going shortly.
Okay, and then also, I know that you and I spoke a little bit ago, and we were talking about bringing the awareness to active duty service. You know, we were talking about men who were, you know, receiving a diagnosis of cancer, and all week long. You know, we had Doc Talk just yesterday, and we were talking about, finding that out, and this is such an important follow-up conversation. But we were also talking about, fertility preservation for active military.
Absolutely, and it's important. There was a girl, and I wish I could remember her name, from Massachusetts that came to Advocacy Day through Resolve. Her and her husband, they're military, and she was stating that he was being deployed, and she was like, your armor doesn't cover enough. We are going to freeze your sperm just in case, because I don't feel confident that maybe your body will be protected, but not that your reproductive organs will be protected, and they ultimately needed to use it. So it's a really important conversation as men and women are being deployed, whether they should be preserving their fertility, especially, women. We know sperm does much better as we age than the eggs do.
Right.
And so if you're going to be deployed for X amount of months or years, and what does that look like if you're going from 30 to 35 or things of that nature. So there's a lot of advocacy around that that needs to get put into place. And it's the same with oncology. When you're diagnosed or you're getting deployed, there should be an education process put into place where people are informed on what they should be doing to preserve their fertility.
Right, and so that is such an important topic, continuing with the military, that, I think you and I were talking about a client that you had too, that it was the mom said, to her son-in-law, you need to, preserve your fertility, you need to, freeze your sperm. Yep. So I think this is what we're shouting for together right now, saying if you're going to be deployed, no matter how old you are, you need to look into this as an option, and it's so important.
Totally agree.
Okay. So I know that this year I was unable to attend your wonderful gala that you have for fundraising. And so let's just say one time, all the information will be under this right now as we're talking. But if someone wants to reach out to you and learn more about the scholarships as a financial option to create your family, what do you suggest, Aprill, and what is the process? How long is the process? So if I'm thinking, I want to do a cycle at the end, at the beginning of the fall, you mentioned the 2 times, but maybe you can just say how people can get a hold of you. What is the time frame?
Yeah, so it's open twice a year. We don't put set dates into place because we do actually base it around events that we have, so that way we might have more money, in March instead of April, or, vice versa. It would actually be April, not March. But so it's usually spring and fall, late fall, going into early winter that they're open. You apply right on our website. There's an application. It's a very simple questionnaire, and then there's an essay portion that people fill out. And the way it works is there's a selection committee. When you submit your application online, you then become anonymous. All your identifying information is removed, and you get assigned a number. And we put that into place only because my hands are so deep in the infertility community. We didn't want this perception of bias. So that gets removed, and you get assigned a number. Then each selection committee member, on their own time, reads the application, and you get rated and put into an online system. After the application window closes, which it's open for 4 weeks, we used to do 12 weeks, and then we were just getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applications. So we reduced it to 4 weeks. The committee gets together, and we talk about the top percentage, whatever it may be. Sometimes we have 25 that all rated the top. Sometimes we have 10. Sometimes we have 40. It varies, and we talk about those and then hash out how much we have, who could benefit most from it, and all of that. Any questions, we have a contact us page right on our website, or people could go, a lot of people just contact us through social media. We have info@agcscholarships.org. There's multiple ways you can contact us. In the application, it does ask when you need the money by. So we do know, based on that, the urgency of getting through these applications and getting money out.
Okay. And so for fundraising, so on the other end, so that's the consumer, that's who you're helping. So if you're on the fundraising end, I was so wanting to be at the gala. So is that the same time every year, just so we get that out there as a placeholder for people?
Yes, it's always in March. We actually base it around school vacation. And it's always held in Foxborough. Previous years it's been held at Gillette Stadium. This year we switched it to Lakeview Pavilion. It's much more intimate. It's an amazing event. There's so many great speakers this year. We had Elizabeth Carr as our keynote speaker.
Oh, or if you don't know, she's the first IVF baby. And that was right here in Massachusetts. So
yeah, it was so wonderful. We have patient testimonials, and it's very moving. It's a very moving night. So we have that, and then we have various events throughout the year. We have a team running the Falmouth Road Race, and they're all required to raise $1,000 each to run it. We have third-party fundraisers where, you know, you could host a bake sale, or you could have a block party or something like that, and you raise money. We had a family plan their own walk, and they raised several $1,000s for us, and you know, we didn't do anything. They did it all. So there's always that way as well. And of course, corporate sponsorships and support on the corporate side is mainly how we get most of our money.
Well, you know what, April, what I love so much about everyone who has the passion to help others is that it's so powerful. Like, you know, in everything that you just rattled off what you do, you know, and what's coming up,
Yeah.
that it's just the message to get out there that there's such hope. And that's your little sign behind you every time you talk, you know, your hope never fails.
Yeah.
And there it is. And so I promise this year I'm going to be at that gala.
Oh, you will love it. And that the gala is, I actually said to many of our guests after the gala, that feeling of empowerment you have, that feeling of, holy smokes, I'm part of this community and I can make a difference, don't let that go. Because in a week it's going to go away. And don't forget how it feels when you walk out that door and you see the babies being born, and you see the woman standing at the podium crying her eyes out because she's still fighting. You have the power to make a difference. And so, yes, be there.
Be there. Well, you know what? Thank you for being here for us.
Yeah.
And, you know, Sarah and I, we're two chicks talking about men because, you know, and you're out there too, you know, just you know, we want everyone to know that you're supported, even though when you do have that feeling, and hope never fails. So
yeah.
go to April's website underneath us, and thank you for everything that you're doing and great information. And we'll be tweeting and talking for the rest of the week. So thanks so much. Bye, April. Bye, Sarah.